Everybody knows this guy. Now, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
Mike Gallagher was going to come in 8:41. And again, usually I would just brush right by it, but he's such a good dog owner. Gallagher is such a good dog owner. And Mike, he's a big national broadcaster, Mike Gallagher is. He's so local that, I mean, you know him and you love him in New York. So what happened? His dog is not doing well? He was at the dog hospital all night?
Yeah, apparently he was up all night in the animal hospital and still not here at the radio station.
Oh, gosh. Well, Mike, we're thinking about you. You know, I look at old Otis, and I don't want to be a down or anything. My kids are listening. You know, it's a Bernese Mountain Dog. This is Michael's dog that we got because I have been kind of... Oh, my gosh, look at this man.
That's a warrior.
Round of applause.
What an embarrassing
What
story.
an entrance. What an entrance.
All right, now.
What an entrance.
Longtime listeners know that when I first got a job in New York, I told a story one of the first days on the air about how I took my moving truck from Albany, a U-Haul, and got on the Palisades Parkway.
Yeah.
And you can't with the truck.
Yeah.
And so I'm driving down the Palisades Parkway with all these people trying to knock me off the road, and they're honking at me and giving me the single finger salute. And I didn't know that. That was my journey to New York.
Yeah.
This morning, I have a new car. And I drove today for the first time to work. And I know there's a garage down here that I can park in because Al takes all the NYP parking places all the time, every day.
I had a triple park today. You see the guy
I saw
behind me
the
with the
truck.
handicap?
Oh, yeah, the truck. Yeah. So you're out in the middle of the intersection, and they won't give you a ticket because you're Al.
It's all the breaking
And,
news he covers.
I can't find the garage. And where I turn to try to get into the garage, where I'm going to park down here, I'm in the Battery Tunnel.
It's the worst.
I'm
it's
in the
worst.
tunnel.
So you ended up
I'm
in
in
Brooklyn.
That's
now.
not you. That's not you. That is.
I'm sweating. I'm thinking this is the first stream for me to be on the Joe Piscopo show. I'm over into Brooklyn now. People who know this, the Hugh Carey Tunnel, the Brooklyn, the Brooklyn, the Battery Tunnel.
Yep.
I go through the tunnel. I go over there. Some big signs to loop around to go to Manhattan.
Yeah.
Oh no, they don't let you do that. You go left, but then they've got it all blocked off with cones. You can't get in the lane to get back into the tunnel. I'm looping around like Clark Griswold looking at the Grand Canyon, and I can't get into
Big Ben.
Yeah, Big Ben. I can't get into the tunnel to get. So it's been about an hour. I was here
And you have
an
to pay
hour
that
ago.
toll twice then.
Listen, I don't even know because with the new car I don't have the toll tag, so I probably got all kinds of fines, and they're going to
Wait,
tow
you don't
me.
have Easy Pass up?
I have Easy, but I didn't put the new one on the new car, so I don't have the stickers.
Did you do what I do and just go and say, "Excuse me, I got to go through here, you officer," and they let you make the U-turn?
Yeah, I do that. They say you're going to go to jail with us. I spend the night at Rikers. But I mean, here I go between the Palisades and the Hugh Carey Tunnel, and I thought this is and you're in that tunnel going the wrong direction. It's like the stupidest feeling.
Now, isn't that the truth though?
awful.
That tunnel, everybody
brutal.
does that. That's not you. That is exactly what happened.
Because you know there's a parking garage down there, and it's all around the tunnel, and you go right because you think I'm going into the tunnel or the garage.
It's so every day you got to avoid that.
But then why is it you go through the tunnel and you get into Brooklyn and it says, oh, you can U-turn, and it's huge, Manhattan.
They don't
you
care.
go
Of
left,
course not.
They don't
and then,
care.
But then to get back in, they got all the cones up.
Weren't they removing? I think they were removing the toll plaza, right? Because it's cashless tolling or whatever it is. So
tolling,
that's
which
probably
is
why it was blocked
great.
off.
And how does the cashless tolling work?
There's a big metal bar above that scans your car as you go through,
So
and it scans the Easy Pass.
So if you don't have an Easy Pass, they're going to
They
scan
send
your
you a
license
bill.
plate and
Correct.
you get a bill. Oh,
They will
that
send you a
sounds like
bill
that can't
plus
go wrong.
$50. No, you'll have to get on the phone and start.
You don't
streaming
trust
it.
the government running that for you?
Oh, no. Aren't we learning on a very serious note about trusting the government for background checks?
You know, I waited for you to come in. First of all, how's Rory?
Not good. I've been up all night with her at the animal hospital, so
so
thank you
sorry,
for asking. That's another reason why, of course, I'm late this morning because my baby is having a little bit of diabetic problems, and so I was at the animal hospital till 4:30 in the morning, and you just, you get to a point too where I hate to be morbid here, but she's 13, been through a lot. Every time I go in the door.
I was just about to talk about Otis. You know, Mikey's dog.
Yep.
He's 6. They live till 8. I'm trying to push 10.
I know.
I got him at the vet today, and and it only cost us $3-4 grand for one trip.
Oh,
at the vet.
it's $2,500 every time I walk in the door. They gave me the estimate last night. I said, "Here we go, $2,400."
I got to tell my kids to be veterinarians. I really, that's it. Veterinarians and dentists.
Well, because they know crazy dog lovers like you and me.
Yes,
we'll cash it out. I mean, we'll fork it over because we want her to be.
But I know how close you are. You're a great dog owner, and we
Joe.
feel for you. So I'm trying to dance around. Like you, and I look to you as a mentor. You're a great broadcaster, and you're a compassionate conservative. I have in my hand the list of the victims. And I asked Frank, I said, give me the list of the victims. That's what I want to concentrate on. And now I'm dancing around. We're talking about cigars. I got Pavlina in here. It's just, I don't how much? What can we say? What can you say?
And let's pass a law by a government that apparently botched this pretty badly and didn't put this guy who had no business owning a gun. We have a gun registry. We have background checks. And if somebody doesn't do their job in the Air Force or somebody doesn't do their job in a bureau somewhere, I mean, there are going to be a lot of people going to get a lot of money, of course, out of this because there's been such a colossal failure, apparently.
Well, walk us through it, Mike. What did you hear, Mike?
Well, what we're hearing is that this guy was the killer in Texas, was guilty of domestic violence, did some horrific things, cracked the skull of his baby, went after his family.
Should be in jail, this guy.
Absolutely, and he sure shouldn't be able to own weapons. And he was supposed to be in a database that would have precluded him from being able to buy weapons. He served for a time in the Air Force. This all happened through the Air Force, and they were supposed to put it in the database, and somehow they didn't. Wow. And as a result, he was able to waltz in and buy a gun. So, to my friends who think we need more gun control laws, what law do you pass to prevent government ineptness? There's nothing. So somebody didn't put in the right keystroke information or whatever. How do you regulate that? I got into a screaming match last night with a buddy of mine who's a Brit, and he called me and goes, "Oh, okay," with his British accent, Gallagher, "go ahead and try to tell me this isn't about the guns." And he started laughing. He doesn't get it, and I said, "You tell me what you do when the bad guy with the gun shows up."
Yeah.
And he said, "That's not the issue. The issue is changing the mind of the bad guy so that he doesn't show up. Change his mindset." Good luck with that, my friend.
That guy's he would have a bomb. It would be, oh, God forbid, Oklahoma City.
Joe, a week ago, we had a guy driving blocks from here on a bike path. Exactly. What legislation you want to kick in there? Evil people do evil things. We just got back from Israel, did the Israel trip. You know what they do in Israel? Somebody pulls out a knife, a Palestinian starts to boom. The armed citizens take out guns and shoot and kill that person.
To your point, maybe we don't have enough consequences in America.
I don't know.
Because we always, he's got a mental problem. Oh, he's mentally ill.
Right.
Oh, it's a gun problem.
The accountability.
Maybe you just take the guy out. Maybe if we're a little stricter and we do exactly what the Israelis do. I'm just saying.
Oh, I said, listen, we could learn a lot from Israel, and we should, and we have. I mean, we've learned a lot from them, and that is the truth. I tried to explain this to my British friend last night. Go to Israel and see how they handle somebody who starts committing an act of terror, evil in the streets of Israel. There are lots of armed citizens. They're prepared. They all have to do government or military service, so they know how to use a firearm.
Yes.
And it is a different mindset. But he kept arguing, you guys have to be more like Australia. You have to be more like Britain. We're not Britain. We're not Australia. This is so. Anyway, we've got lots of. We're going to break this down in a lot of ways.
President doing a great job in Asia. Man.
Amazing visit to Asia. I mean, and he's been monitoring this from over there. The shootings.
He seems, and you know him, your buddy.
Not as good as you.
No, listen, he seems reserved, which I like to see.
Yeah, it's kind of a new image for him. He is more subdued and melancholy, perhaps. He's got listen, the man's got a lot on his plate, and he's I'm so brokenhearted at the Bushes. George H.W. Bush admitting they voted for Hillary or didn't vote, I guess, in one case. And I had an essay I read yesterday on the air. I'm going to read it again today because we have more time for it. A scholar at Berkeley who said Trump is arguably the most conservative president or the most conservative agenda we've seen in decades, way more so than any of the Bushes. So
don't get me started about W. And then HW at the World Series, they're throwing off. He's in the wheelchair right after the groping thing. And I'm thinking, it was just a poor choice to put him in. It was just a poor choice. Don't criticize. Don't attack the family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're in tough times right now. We've got some, and in Virginia, incidentally, very interesting Democrat ad, an activist ad that showed the Republicans chasing down the little Latino kids.
I think Gillespie wins because of that.
Gillespie on the show today. We're going to have Ed Gillespie on the show. We'll get a take from him. We interviewed the Democrat. Democrat wasn't available for the Mike Gallagher show, but we are going to, because if Ed Gillespie wins, Joe, that'll be it. So just a lot to cover, and prayers for my little fur baby, okay?
Yeah, I was thinking about Rory. Do you want an Apple Watch, by the way? Because mine's not quite working the way it should.
I'd like my Apple 10, a.k.a. X. Oh, they pre-ordered. Oh, very fancy here. We pre-ordered back in
Yeah.
mid-December.
I know.
So I went to Best Buy last night up on the Upper West Side.
Yeah,
Do you have any Apple 10s?
I know it's tough.
The guy looked at me like, you pathetic idiot.
No,
Of course
I
not.
got it, but it was just the hardest thing I ever had to do.
You got the watch? You already got the...
Yeah, but I had to need Pavlina because I can't pair the watch with it. It's not working. So wait, just wait a little bit. You better wait.
Pavlina can figure it out. She can figure it all out.
Mike,
happy Tuesday,
Thanks
guys.
Thanks
for
running in,
I'm sorry I'm running late.
No,
I love you guys.
You're doing great. Mike Gallagher,
Have a
10
happy
o'clock. 10 o'clock with Mike Gallagher on AM 970, The Answer, right here live. And thank you, Mike.
If it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.